Okay, so the funny thing is I get all these ideas and then I go, okay, I'll make a video when I get home, and then I'm like, I forget everything. So right now I'm just sitting here making a video because I have all these ideas going through my head because I wanted to share with my friends on YouTube. So as you guys know, I've been, the last few videos I wasn't, I was going through some stuff. It was pretty obvious, you know what I mean? And I know that everybody's going through stuff, right? Because if you weren't, you probably wouldn't be here on planet Earth. And that's why basically today's video message was just simply about courage, because lately, since I've been going through a lot on so many different levels, and there's reasons for that. I'm meditating a lot more. Krista and I have been having some growing pains in our relationship. I'm not using food to cope anymore as much. I mean, it takes a while to really master that. But, there were times when I would be feeling down, but I'd be like, okay, and I'd have to be more honest with myself, and I'm like, okay, am I hungry? And the answer is no. And it was just because, okay, if I eat something, at least it'll lessen the pain. But see, I'm to the point now in my maturity, and this is what I want to share with people, that, you just eventually you gotta quit running. And what inspired me, I've been working on this for years, because I've read all the books and I've been working on a spiritual path. But it's one thing to sort of read the books, and then it's another thing to actually just really, eventually you've planted so many seeds in your mind from the spiritual books, DVDs, CDs, and satsangs, and everything else that you've been going through, that eventually those seeds kind of take place, because you really do want to see the fruits of your labor. So when you read a book, you're sort of laboring a little bit, It's pleasant to pick up some truth, and it plants seeds in your mind, but eventually you begin to become more motivated, and you really want to see the fruits of your spiritual labor, So so you finally decide. What I had to decide is that I needed to just process this stuff without escaping. But a lot of it was so powerful that it wouldn't have mattered anyways. So years ago it was drugs and alcohol, then there would be times when I would use like internet porn. Sorry kids for mentioning that, but that part wasn't really bad. The drugs and alcohol was bad. The internet porn was just something that would be like a backup, and I'm just being frankly quite honest, because if you guys don't know me by now, I'm not ashamed of making mistakes and growing and sharing those. Not a lot of people are willing to share, but there's I don't have all the qualities in the world, but one of the things that is a quality of mine is that I'm just not ashamed to make mistakes. I've made so many mistakes in my life that it's all the mistakes that have guided me up to be the halfway decent person that I've become. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping to become a lot better person, because this is sort of what motivates me a lot of times, is to walk into a room, and do you make that room better, or do you make that room worse energetically? And it's not about what you say, it's not about what you're wearing, it's not about what you do even, but it's what you are as you stand there in the silence, because everything emanates outside of you, vibrationally. Whatever's in your mind, whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your body even. So that's why I like the raw foods, that's why I like to cultivate unconditional love, and that's why I'm working pretty vigorously on examining my mind, and hopefully, believe me, I am about 1,000,000 miles away from being a saint. I'll tell you that right now. But I do appreciate the saints. I love them, and I know that to have an empty, clear mind, free from desire, is probably quite pleasant, because the level of contentment and peace that can be achieved is probably a lot higher than a mind that's so full of desires. You know what I mean? Then when those desires are unfulfilled, then anger comes into the picture, and discontent. And anger and discontent is not peace. And as you know, my goal is to be at peace. why I'm sharing this video is that because I wanted to encourage everyone. I know there's a lot of young people out there, and I know there's some more seasoned folks that have seen more times around the sun than I have. But, you know, we are in a society where it's kind of like avoid pain at all costs. And I understand a lot of people do that. There's a lot of painkiller drugs. There's a lot of alcoholism, drug addiction. There's TV addiction, computer addiction. There's every kind of addiction and everything we use to escape from dealing with the underlying pain. And that's basically the message of this video, is that I wouldn't make this video if I hadn't spent the last couple of weeks fluctuating between deep levels of pain and you know, discontent, with not very much peace in between. Because a lot of times it fluctuates. You know, there's a little bit of discontent, there's a little bit of discord, there's a little bit of irritation, but it's not always that intense. And then there's those times of, hey, it's pretty good, got a good meal, got a good job, you know, you're hanging out with your wife or your husband or your kids, and it's pleasant. So usually we go from, you know, a little bit of irritation or discord or discontent to, you know, hey, this is pretty pleasant. You know, usually we don't, not too many times do we go from major states of like high blissed out, to like deep depression. And Krista said, don't look at the phone when it comes in. But she just left me a text, and she says, I miss you. And that means a lot, because I really care about her. And I just want to say, hi, sweetie, because you're on the text. Anyways, let's get back to this video, because it's real important. I want to share my heart. I know most of you know me as a fruit and vegetable guy, and I'm definitely that, man, because it's all about the energy, you know, that's flowing through the organism. And the reason why I've been going through so much pain is because I've been really wanting to grow. And I've been meditating. I wake up at 5 o'clock every day. I meditate for usually 2 hours. Today only 1, because I've been fidgeting. During 2 hours of meditation, I've been fidgeting, and I decided this morning I was going to sit still without moving in one asana position. And you mean, in other words, one position with my legs crossed, without moving my legs, without moving anything. So I did an hour this morning. Now I think I'm ready to do 2 hours of meditation without moving, because my feet fall asleep. That's really what it is. And I would move to keep the blood flow into my feet. But anyways, that's aside from the point. The point is, I'm doing as much spiritual work as I can to try to get at the root of these issues that I've had, which is pretty dang deep. But I didn't know how deep until this last couple of weeks, which is basically, you know, I'm not going to get into it too much, but, you know, there was some abandonment issues in my childhood, big time, and abuse. And what that's created in me is like a neediness, okay? And in order to become the spiritual person that I want to be for you and for myself and for this world, because I just want to create a wider path so that other people can tread the path to true peace. And nobody said it's going to be easy, man. The diet thing ain't easy. The emotional forgiveness of the people that you may perceive have done you wrong. And then we've got the millennia of the human ego, which is an animal brain, which is programmed deep. And that's the levels that I'm working on right now. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know anything. I can't judge anything anymore, because I don't know what's going on, because I saw that the pain is what led to a higher level of being, much more contentment, because all that discontent and pain was coming out. It needed to be released, because the diet has been so pure, with grapes and green juices and light salads. I don't even want the salads anymore, because it even makes meditation in the morning a little more challenging. So I'm just going to eat fruit and green juices and keep on meditating. But I wanted to just simply encourage everyone. I know we hear this all the time, but I wanted you to hear it from Dan, the man who loves you and is your servant. Let me just plant one more seed in your mind. When the going gets tough, just find somebody to talk to, but just make it through the pain. Learn to stand up straight in the pain, and do your best not to run to the distractions, okay? If you guys want to talk about this some more, I'd be willing to. I will make videos till the cows come home if this one helped. I just want to instill courage in people because I know how challenging this life can be. So that's enough for now. I could definitely go on this subject, but just remember to take courage when it hurts. Find someone to talk to, but basically it's going to be about you and your spirit and whatever you believe in, praying to that and having faith, okay? Like I said, I could keep going, but I want to keep these videos as short as I can to respect your time. So if you believe, then God bless you. If not, then I hope that you're filled with abundance and you're filled with peace and that you're filled with happiness and joy, because it doesn't really matter, because there's only one light in the universe, and I don't even care what you call it, man. I know that we're all that, and I want to bring more of that into the world. That's why I'm transparent, and that's why I always tell you that I love you, because I know that we are all from the same source, okay? So courage and faith, my friends. Thank you so much. If you like this video, would you subscribe and go check out the links and stuff like that, because that's how Krista and I make our living. Thank you so much, guys, and I love your comments and feedback, okay? Positive or negative. Peace be with you for sure. Bye-bye.